I got a good chuckle from this story that we finna go over today because everybody was telling me I was wrong when I made my 2 videos about this topic, but I guess now we know. So we're talking about Marlon Wayans today and DJ Vlad, because last week we seen DJ Vlad and Marlon Wayans get into a back and forth due to Vlad being salty because Marlon Wayans tried to charge him $40,000 for an interview. And that $40,000 booking fee was a fee that Vlad went online and complained about. He honestly started trying to trash Marlon Wayans' legacy, saying that he wasn't worth that kind of money. At the maximum, if he interviewed Marlon Wayans, he was only gonna do 100 to 200,000 views. Right? We had DJ Vladimir Putin telling people what he thought they was worth. And you had 2 types of people in this. You had people that heard what Vlad said and said, bro, you are tripping. And then you had people that heard what Vlad said and said, nah, you got a point. You may not recoup your money off of that interview paying $40,000. Let me not forget the plus 30% of revenue. Now, I went over the math and multiple videos on this, and people were still telling me there's no way he could recoup, even though just based on the math from YouTube, he would have recouped his $40,000. And then if he monetized on all the other platforms as well, he could have easily doubled his money. But people were still like, nah, Vlad's running a business. You expect this man to take a loss and blah, blah, blah. As if running a business is supposed to be a risk-free endeavor, right? And I did the math based on like a minimum amount of views. What I said when I was doing that math was, but if say the interview was to go viral, them numbers change substantially. Vlad could go from doubling his money to tripling or quadrupling his money. But in Vlad's mind, that just wasn't good enough, right? To 3x or 4x your money, that just doesn't hit right. He needs to 10x his money. So instead of booking the interview with Marlon Wayans, he decided to go online, start trashing him. He started asking guests what they thought about the $40,000 that Marlon was trying to charge him. And I was on the side of the fence that said, you know what? I think you can recoup your money paying Marlon Wayans that much. But again, Vlad didn't feel that way. Instead, he wanted to tell the whole world about how Marlon's career was on a decline. His words, not mine. And what this did was this created an opportunity for Marlon Wayans to shop himself around to all of the hottest platforms on the internet, which is what he did. And it didn't take long before we seen Marlon Wayans announce that he was gonna go on Club Shay Shay, which is hosted by Shannon Sharpe, somebody that Vlad has adamantly been a hater of since Shannon Sharpe started doing these type of interviews, right? He's somebody that Vlad has talked down on before too. For example, he did the Cat Williams interview. That interview collectively across all clips on the internet did about 100 million views. And you had Shannon Sharpe telling people that he had made $5-6 million from doing that one single interview. And Vlad immediately started hating, right? He was all on his show talking about Shannon Sharpe is a liar. There ain't no way he's making money. He was just salty about it. So you got Marlon Wayans, who Vlad was talking down on. You got Shannon Sharpe, who Vlad was talking down on, coming together to conduct this interview. And by the way, the interview that they just did was great. I watched the whole 2 hours of it, and it's a great interview. It was cool watching Marlon Wayans get up there and kick shit about his family legacy and dive into his history and his family. And I'm gonna just give it a 10 out of 10. It was a dope interview, right? From him talking about his mama and his daddy and the 2-parent household that he had, to talking about how him and his brother created the Wayans Show when they were just 20 years old. He talked about their history on In Living Color. Bro, y'all definitely gotta go watch this interview if you haven't. But if you don't watch it, it don't matter, because within the first 24 hours of this interview being up, it's done 1.5 million views basically. It's number 2 trending on YouTube. So it really doesn't get much better than that right there when it comes to performance. Now I want to do some quick math with y'all again so that y'all can understand how Marlon Wayans is proving Vlad wrong. Vlad said he would never recover the $40,000 if he booked Marlon Wayans at that price, right? But this interview has done 1.5 million views in the last 22 hours. I'm pretty familiar with what YouTube pays. I used to do long documentaries that was 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So I'm familiar with what the pay rate is on a long video like that. And on the low end, that interview is doing $15 per 1,000 views. On the high end, it's doing $30 per 1,000 views. So let's do some quick maths real quick. All right, 1.5 million views. Now you get paid per 1,000 on YouTube. You get paid per 1,000 views. So we'll divide the 1.5 million by the 1,000 views it takes to get paid. That's 1,500. And you would times that on the low end by the $15 it gets paid per 1,000. And this interview has generated on a low end $22,500. In the first day it was up. On the high end, it's generated about $45,000, which means if Shannon Sharpe paid the $40,000 that Marlon Marlon Wayans wanted. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, no, he didn't charge him. Bro, you don't know that. He could have charged him. Shannon Sharpe may have paid that fee. And if he did, he's made anywhere between $22,000 and $45,000 from this interview in the last 24 hours. So when Vlad said it would be impossible to recoup the $40,000 on a Marlon Wayans interview, he was dead wrong. Keep in mind, this math doesn't include any other platforms that this is monetized on. And you know what? I've actually received a copyright claim from Shannon Sharpe before, right, on my Cat Williams and Steve Harvey video that I did. And that was claimed by a company called Superbam, right? If you go to Superbam's website, they boast themselves as being a global leader in content monetization. And Superbam claims this type of content on YouTube, Facebook, and on Instagram, which means that Shannon Sharpe is also getting paid from every clip that's been posted on YouTube of this, because he claims it, every clip that's been posted on Facebook, and every clip that's been posted on Instagram, right? That $22,000 to $45,000 is just from YouTube alone. So I think what Vlad meant to say when he said it would be impossible to make that $45,000 back or make the $40,000 back, what he meant to say is it would be impossible for him to make that money back, right? Because he may be right. The Marlon Wayans interview might not have performed that well on his platform, but it clearly did on Shannon Sharpe's platform. And I know what y'all are going to say. Y'all are going to say, oh, well, maybe Vlad don't have a service that allows him to monetize it on Facebook, Instagram, and all that. Wrong, because I've received a copyright claim from Vlad too. And guess who copyright claimed on behalf of Vlad? Complex News Network. Complex also does this on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So he has the same monetization channels enabled, meaning that what Marlon Wayans just did by going on that Club Shay Shay interview is prove Vlad completely wrong. And Marlon knows that because he just posted this up on his Instagram, and it's a post of a chessboard with the caption that says 1 million+ views in 10 hours. Checkmate, a gentleman's game. And Marlon is right here. This is like a Mortal Kombat fatality blow to Vlad's ego right here. And that's something that I want to touch on, because I think more importantly than the $40,000 and the 30% that Marlon wanted to do the interview with Vlad, I think it's possible that Marlon just didn't want to do an interview with Vlad, right? And I think that hurt Vlad's feelings. The whole reason that this went public is because Vlad went and tried to trash Marlon because he wanted $40,000 for the interview. And I think what happened was Vlad wanted that interview. He got told a number that he felt like he could never recoup, and that hurt his ego, right? Vlad's got a substantial channel. He does do views on that channel. And for whatever reason, you can tell that Vlad feels like he's bigger than the program. It's almost like he feels like he's the celebrity in his interviews and the guests are there to talk to him because of who he is, when that's just not the case. Most people are showing up for that appearance fee, or they're showing up for promotion because you do have a big platform. It's not because of you, Vlad. And I think that when Marlon hit him with that number, it hurt his feelings. That's why he went online. That's why he started trying to tear Marlon down, because he thought that nobody would pay that fee, that Marlon wasn't gonna get on no other shows. He made it clear how he felt about Marlon's career, that Marlon wasn't popping. So he felt comfortable talking the way that he was. And with Marlon doubling back saying, you know what, I am gonna do some interviews, and then doing one and then performing this well, I mean, it is a checkmate move. And Vlad should use this as a moment of reflection on himself, on his business, on the way that he talks to people. This is a good time to put the ego in check. But you know, part of me feels like Vlad is probably sitting somewhere right now taking credit for this interview doing this well. He's probably said to people around him, oh, that interview only did good because I made the topic hot. Nobody was talking about Marlon Wayans until I started tweeting about him. He only went on Club Shay Shay because of me, therefore it only did good because of me. I got a sneaking suspicion that's exactly how Vlad feels, because again, Vlad has an ego the size of a hot air balloon, and that's about what his ego is filled with, hot air. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. Anyways, that's basically it for the video, guys. If you enjoyed the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, tap the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video. As always, it's been fun rocking with y'all, man. I'm out.